Hi there, this is Corey from Conquering the Chaos, and this is the video walkthrough of the digital reading journal. This version is the forest fungi, and at current time, there are three other versions, themes available in my shop. So, after you purchase and you make a copy, you will be on this very first page, which has instructions. So if you have any questions about how to do something again instead of rewatching the whole video, maybe the instructions can help you out. Um, so take a look there. The next tab is your categories tab. And this is pre-populated with just a bunch of genres and subgenres that I came up with, but certainly you can change all of these if you want to, and you can add to it all the way down to the bottom of the list. So I'm gonna I'm gonna add a genre in here. I'm gonna put children's in there because that's going to go with one of the books that I'm going to add here. Anything, and I might say this a couple times, anything that is a colored cell, do not go in and delete. Do not change. It might interrupt the formula. So just a heads up on that. If you do, it's fixable. And I'm hoping to do a couple videos on that as well, on how to fix things. But for now, just best case, just don't change anything that has a colored cell. All right, next tab is the fiction tab. This is where we're going to put all of our books that we are reading, have read, want to read. So I'm going to add a couple of books in here so we can go through them together. Let me get rid of that. Okay, the first one I'm going to put in is Daisy Jones. Format, this is important when we get to a couple of tabs down the way. So I'm going to put audiobook for this one because I listened to it on audiobook, and I'm just going to pick the first one there. All right, next book I'm going to add is the BFG. I just finished reading this with my son. And that one I'm going to put as paperback. And here you can see this is the list from the categories tab. You can see at the top, children's, that's what I just added. So feel free to add and they'll show up right there when you need them. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. All these first columns through H are just going to be, info about your books. This freezes. This columns A through D freezes, so you can see what book you're on and what book you're talking about here. Here, characters, atmosphere, writing, plot, pacing, world building, and enjoyment are all your gradings. You can grade them as you see fit. Then over here is a grading that's going to be the average of what you put in here. If you leave some blank, that does not filter into the grading or factor into the grading. So I just put on here quickly for enjoyment, I put a 9 and I put a 10. If I were on Daisy Jones to add word building, if I made that a 1, it would take the grading down to a 5 because it averages the two. But I'm going to go ahead and take that out and just leave it at 9. The star rating is auto-populated based on the grading. What you give all of these columns and the grading that it ends up with, that's how many stars it is. See, like this one up here is a 3.86, which translates to a 2 rating. And then you can see it in the stars here. The stars will populate for you. The next thing that we are going to need to do with our books is find a cover image. Oops, make that stop. I was really trying to delete these so we could go through it together. Okay, so in this cover search image link, this will auto-populate with the big book search plus the name of your book. So when we click on this link, it's going to take us to that website, and we get to choose which cover that we would like. I'm going to go ahead and choose the original one. So you would just right click on the cover that you want, right click, and it's going to be copy image address. I'm going to go back to my sheet and I'm going to paste it right there. Same thing with the BFG. I'm going to go and I'm going to choose this cover, right click, copy image address, go back to my spreadsheet and paste it in. That image is not going to show up on this page. It will show up later. And then there are some notes that you can leave about your books. And then that's the end of the columns on this page. So let's move on to the reading progress. Now that we've added our 2 books, let's go to reading progress and we'll update our reading progress as to where we're at with those books. I'm going to put 2023. I'm going to say I listened in August. And then from this drop down, this is where you can choose your book. So all the ones that you've added in the previous tab. Oh, right. So I was looking for Daisy Jones is what I was thinking. But Daisy Jones is not going to show up here because it's an audiobook. And right now we're in the hardcover and paperbacks and the ebooks. Audiobooks has its own separate tab down here. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to say it doesn't really matter, but we did read it in September. So this drop down, I'm going to do the BFG because that is here. That was in paperback. The author populates. I'm going to say that we read a whole book, 208 of 208. We're 100% complete, and here's our progress tab. In this drop down, you can put the status if you are currently in the middle of your book. Say we want to reread it. I'll go ahead and put reread it. But our choices are did not finish, finished, to reread, still yet to read, or currently reading. So since we finished it and I liked it so much, we're going to put to reread down. Ebooks will show up here if we had any. And then we will go to the audiobooks tab, and it's just the same as before, except if you put audiobook on the fiction page where we originally put the book down, this is where it will show up. So I'll put August here. This is where I will choose Daisy Jones. Author populates. Hours listened. I'm going to say that we listened to 6 hours of the book. And it is important to put the time in with the colon for the hours and minutes. You don't need to worry about the seconds, but the hours and minutes you do. Otherwise, the formula won't work right. The total hours of the book is 9 hours and 3 minutes. So it tells me how much I have left in my progress bar. I'm going to put as did not finish. So that's where we keep track of those. Now we're going to go to the overview tab. This tab is going to give you up here you can select your year and your month. If you select none of that, it will do all of your books, ebooks, and audiobooks of all time. You can choose a year and it will show you just 2023 books, or you can go and choose a month as well and it will show you just the books that you've read, intended to read in that month alone. So say, okay, I'm going to take February out of here and just leave it at 2023. So we have put that we, in the year 2023, we have added books. 7 total hardcover and paperbacks, 4 of which we are currently reading, 2 of which we had finished, 1 we did not finish, and 1 to reread. That's the one that we just put in for the BFG. Ebooks, same thing. It gives you a breakdown. And audiobooks, same thing. There's a little pie chart here with what your most read genres are. Your top 10 books, these are based on your ratings. What had the highest rating? 10, we gave BFG a 10. Pride and Prejudice, I think, was a 10, and so on and so forth. Your top 5 rated genres, children's, because I gave that rating a 10. That was the BFG. Here's our star ratings. We had 4 5 stars, and so on. Down here is our challenge progress, which we have not gotten to the challenge tab yet, but this will tell you how far along in our challenge that we are. So that's our overview tab. Pretty cool just to keep an eye on how many books we have left out there that we haven't finished or want to reread. Let's go to the cover library next. Now, if you remember, the 2 that we chose, there's our book covers that we chose. They show down at the bottom. And our star ratings show. We gave Daisy Jones a 9 and we gave the BFG a 10. So that's where they'll all populate. And I think there's up to 500 books that you can add in here. Here's our reading challenge tab. Now, the reading challenges are pre-populated with just a couple of challenges that I put in here. But you can take these out and change it to whatever challenge you want. And then once you click the check boxes, that's how the progress gets marked. So you can change the words, like whatever you want, kind of challenge you want to put in there. And then once you do that, it will change the progress and also change the progress over here on the overview tab. So that's the challenge. The favorites, this is all populated by you. This is your all-time favorites, however you want to fill them out. So there's 7 different topics here. Your favorite authors, your favorite genres, subgenres, series, books. So you can fill that out as you'd like. Quotes. Quotes is also filled out by you. These are, you can put whatever you want in here. I think there's like 20 or 30, 30 quotes that you can put in here. Just your favorite quotes of all time. So that is it for the walkthrough of the digital reading journal. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would be happy to answer them for you, and then also make a video if it's that kind of question that can be solved by a video that would be more helpful. So yeah, that's it. Feel free to reach out with any comments or questions. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.